Protect Canadian jobs! Protect Canadian jobs! Welcome to Unifor's Protect Canadian Jobs rally. How are you doing today? My name is Roxane Dubois. I will be your MC today, along with a wonderful brother who I am pleased to share the stage with. Did you run away?
No. Hello, Unifor, and hello, members of Windsor. My name is James Stewart. I'm the president of Local 444 Unifor, and I'm certainly proud to be here with you today. And on behalf of all the local presidents from Windsor and Essex, thank you for coming in. Thank you for being here today. This is an important rally. Thank you.
It's really great to see so many of you here join us in this symbolic place that is Windsor, Ontario, right across the border from the US. What I see in front of me is exactly what I think democracy looks like. Working people raising their voices, joining together shoulder to shoulder for what's right and for what's ours, our jobs, our industries, and our country. Before we get started, I would like to acknowledge that the land on which we gather today in Windsor is the ancestral territory of the Three Fires Confederacy of First Nations, comprised of the Ojibwe, the Odawa, and the Potawatomi. As we come together today from different places to unite to protect Canadian jobs, we invite everyone to reflect on the histories, cultures, and contributions of the Indigenous communities where they live, work, and gather. Now, are we ready for a good old union rally? Protect Canadian jobs! Protect Canadian jobs! Protect Canadian jobs! Protect Canadian jobs!
As I said, thank you for being here. And it's important that we recognize some people that are here today. I know this, from every municipality locally, from Chatham to Windsor, we have mayors and city councillors here, and I want to thank them for being here. We have provincial members of parliament from every political party here supporting the idea, putting politics aside, supporting the idea that we're going to defend our jobs. We have federal members of parliament here supporting us, supporting our jobs, supporting the defense of Canada. And the idea of putting that politics aside to do that is important. So thank you to all of you. I also want to recognize our retirees. And our retirees are important because that's right. Our retirees are what we're fighting for to protect. They built this country, and they deserve to have it defended. They deserve to have our way of life that they built and they designed and they created for us to enjoy, including the auto industry. It's important to recognize them. Thank you. I'm privileged. I come from a long line of good leadership, and when I look and I think about our retirees, I know that if Gary Parent were alive today, he would be up here screaming at the top of his lungs, and Gary's not like that. Gary's a quiet guy. He would be here screaming, and I see Ken Lowenza right in front of me a second ago walking around saying he's proud to be Canadian, and he's still defending Canadian jobs, and I'm privileged to be in that line as a Local 444 president. It's important to talk about why we're here today. Why we're here. You look across the river and you see the GM building in the heart of Detroit, a good auto city, a good strong community for automotive parts and automotive assembly. 100 meters behind me is the Stellantis building, the Chrysler headquarters for Canada, right here in Windsor. You look down the river and you see the Ambassador Bridge. An Ambassador Bridge for decades has transported people and traded goods across our borders for 100 years. And you go farther down and you see the new Gordie Howe Bridge being built with the idea that for the next several decades, trade and people are going to cross that border with our neighbors to the, well, here the south, but generally the north. It's important to recognize why we're here today. And that's why we're here in Windsor. And you look at Trump's threats, and it's important to recognize this isn't the American people. This is the American administration in power today attacking us. Their number one ally. Their number one trading partner. We have, not me personally, and I don't want to take credit for it, but our retirees, the people that that have died for this country, bleeding with our American partners. We did that because we are partners, true, and especially in the city of Windsor, where we're intertwined. We have nurses working over there. We have people that go across the border to spend their money. We are a true combined community, and it's hurtful when we know what's happening to us today. And he's broken the Kuzma agreement, and he's done that under the guise of some lies. And we know that fentanyl is a problem globally. No one denies that. But where the lie, and governments have to do everything they can to fix the fentanyl, the illegal fentanyl problem. It is killing our people across this world. But what the lie stands for is only 0.1% of the fentanyl going into the States is causing the problem that he breaks Kuzma for. 0.1%. We are not the problem on fentanyl. This is a goal, this is a challenge, this is something he's doing to sell to the American people that he's got a right to tear down Canada. He's got a right to take what he wants from Canada, including our jobs. He said just in the last 72 hours, he's going to take Canadian jobs away from Canada. He's going to take auto jobs away from Canada. That can't be allowed to happen. The other lie is that Canadians and Canada stole the U.S. auto industry. That's a lie. A mile that way, the first cars were built in Canada from Ford in 1904, 121 years ago. Oshawa has been building cars since 1918. Chrysler has been building cars since 1928, 100 years. And the idea that we're taking jobs is a fallacy. You got to remember, in Canada today, in the Detroit 3, there's only 2 shifts of production coming out of the Windsor assembly plant for Stellantis. Brampton is shut down right now, and it's uncertain when they're coming back up. Those people are nervous, and they deserve their jobs. They deserve a good product in that plant. They deserve 3 shifts of operation, just like Windsor does. There's 2 shifts in Canada today. In Ford, there's not 1 U.S. vehicle being built in this country today. Ford Oakville is down for a retool, and it's our expectation that they're going to go open up and build a good product in that vehicle, providing good jobs for the community of Oakville. GM only has 1 plant running today in Oshawa. 1 plant, because they've shuttered temporarily the plant in Ingersoll. So the idea that Canada has an unfair trade balance in auto is a lie. He knows it's a lie. The UAW knows it's a lie. We have to take them on. We have to defend it. And who else is going to do that but Unifor? We're going to keep messaging. And the key to why we're here today, and I don't want to drag on too long, but the key to why we're here today is sending a message to some people that are here today. The governments that are elected to defend us. The government that's going to be elected, whoever that may be next week. You have to know that you have to defend our jobs. You have to defend our country. You have to defend our industry. You can't let it go. You have to make sure you deal with them in a strong hand, always looking for a resolve to the tariff problem. Because we sell cars, we sell a lot of things here. And if we don't sell our cars and we lose manufacturing, we're going to lose our tax base. That funds hospitals. That funds healthcare. That funds all the things that are important to our education, our schools, our roads, our skilled trades. You can't lose the tax base around losing our manufacturing in this country. And I remind you all, and I remind the government leaders here today, make sure you're taking that on. Make sure you're protecting Canada. And I'm going to end with this. Corporations need to hear it. If you plan to move production out of Canada, and you still plan to make millions and billions of dollars off the backs of Canadians, you should forget that idea. If you're going to build here, you're going to provide jobs here, you have a right to sell here. If you don't, get the hell out, but don't sell your products here. I'm going to end with this. My name is James, and I am Canadian.
Thank you so much, James. So we've had some people who have traveled to get here today. Can I hear you, Oshawa? Can I hear you, GTA, Oakville, Brampton? Can I hear you, Kitchener? Can I hear you, London? Can I hear you, Ingersoll? There you are. Can I hear you, St. Catharines? And can I hear you, Windsor? Yeah. Welcome, everyone. Even before the auto tariffs hit, our union warned of the immediate impacts on both sides of the border. The reason Canada's auto sector stands strong today is because of the workers who have fought hard to build and defend it for many, many years. Workers like you and the leaders joining us on stage today. We're proud to welcome two powerful voices from the heart of our auto industry. These leaders have seen firsthand what's at stake with the impacts of tariffs, not just for today, not just in Windsor, but for the future of Canadian manufacturing. Please join me in welcoming John Dagnolo, President of Unifor Local 200 and Chair of Unifor's Auto Council, and he gets a shout out, and Emile Nabou, President of Local 195 and Chair of the Auto Parts Council. Welcome, John and Emile.
Hello, Unifor! Hello, Windsor! I want to take a moment to express our appreciation for this tremendous support we have experienced here in the town we build all automotive manufacturing. This is the automotive town in Canada. Today, we reaffirm our commitment. Unifor will not remain passive while our jobs are under attack. As the chair of the independent part and supplier sector in this great union, representing over 100 workplaces in this country, at least 18,000 jobs, good paying jobs, I have witnessed significant improvement, lots of good paying jobs in this country. We have established ourselves as a vital part of this national economy. If the President, Donald Trump, continue with his threat to impose tariff, the North American industry will face serious consequences, including our job. We are not going to light up. And this is why one of the reasons he has not yet to see a decisive action from this president. The relationship between Canada and the U.S. economy is a very complex one. Many auto ports across the border, multiple times before they reach their final destination. Imposing tariff will disrupt the entire North American auto industry and jeopardize the entire supply chain. Since the beginning, Unifor has been an outspoken advocate on this crucial issue, led by our national president, Lana Payne. Even without fully enforcing this tariff, forecast for vehicle production in North America has already begun to decline. We felt it here in Windsor in the last couple of weeks. This downturn will lead to fewer job opportunity and increase in the layoff for the auto part worker across the border. Every supplier across North America will be faced with a significant difficulty. Investment will freeze, costs are rising, and uncertainty will loom large. We must put a stop to this tariff nonsense. We as Unifor need to navigate this crisis with purpose. Workers deserve our support. I am encouraged by the government's recent announcement for a special measure for the auto industry and the workforce we represent. It is crucial that this support continue beyond this upcoming election. The next government must ensure that the industry remain a top focus to grow, to invest, and to expand here in Canada. We cannot revert to the outdated policy of Stephen Harper era. Leading on tax cut to drive economy growth has proven ineffective. Let's remain hopeful. Our union is committed to fight for good paying job and to fight for this country in solidarity. Elbow up, Unifor! Elbows up, Unifor!
Wow. I'm not going to scream that loud. I'm just going to let you know. But I can tell you this. You can see the passion. And we have a lot of people here that care, that are Canadians that wrap their flag right around their shoulders. Because I'm looking at some of my brothers at Brampton right now, worried about if they're going to be able to pay bills in the future. I'm worried about the Cami brothers and sisters and their families. And are they going to be able to pay their bills? And we have a president that doesn't care. I have a river that James talked about. That's all that separates us. We're a tight community on both sides of the border. We have fireworks that come out here at the end of next month, at the end of June, and we celebrate together. We take care of each other. And right now, what we're seeing is a president that does not just care about Canadians, he doesn't care about Americans either. Because I can tell you, working at Ford Motor Company, and we've been building here for 120 years. And I've been blessed being part of a union. My dad was a rep for 26 years, and he taught me everything, and I've talked about this time in and time out, but the importance of this right now, the importance of the people here right now, caring about not just auto, caring about non-union jobs, caring about our lumber brothers and sisters and families, caring about our steel, caring about our aluminum. It's not just about auto. We got to protect one another. That's what this is all about today. We're one. We are one. And we can never forget that. I build engines. I'm a factory worker. We have just under 2,000 people in my facility. And we supply 15,000 people engines on the other side of the border. Is that unfair trade? In fact, every plane here in Canada should be full. We buy the vehicles. We take care of the economy in the U.S., no different than they take care of us. And these voices have to continue. And once you leave this place, you have to spread it out. This message has to go across the country. Because I can't stand what I'm hearing from that president. But we have bipartisan government here. We don't have to worry about protesters being thrown in jail. I welcome protesters to come here because we're Canadian. That's what we care about. We care about everybody. We have our different views, but we make sure we protect one another, and that should never go away. So thank you for the opportunity. And solidarity for everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, John and Emile. I went a little fast on the list of cities, so I'm going to do it one more time for specifically a very great community. Can I hear you, Oakville? Yeah, no, I think we should do that again. Can I hear you, Oakville? Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Okay, when I say union, you say power. Union! Union! When I say worker, you say power. Worker! 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 All right. Next, I'm pleased to welcome Unifor's Ontario Regional Director, Samya Hashi. Ontario has borne the brunt of recent auto layoffs, and its economic sectors are immensely at risk in this trade war. Samya has been a tireless advocate for workers in this province, fighting to protect jobs, organizing members across Ontario, and showing that through solidarity in action, we can achieve big wins. Her leadership not only strengthens our province, but ensures our communities have a stronger voice in shaping the fight for all Canadian workers. Please welcome Samya Hashi.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Unifor. It's so great to be here with all of you and seeing everybody here standing up to protect Canadian jobs. As you know, we're dealing with a trade war we didn't ask for, one that has seen the most immediate and devastating impacts for Ontario workers. The trade war is a direct attack on the jobs and industries that sustain families and communities in Ontario. Industries that our families have built together. Our communities here in Ontario are feeling it first. Layoffs, plant closures, and uncertainty are hitting our workers hard, and especially in manufacturing. They say good things grow in Ontario, but the truth is we build it that way. From forestry workers in the north to auto workers in the south, Ontarians are the driving force behind the products that power our country. Manufacturing in Ontario fuels jobs across Canada. Whether it's raw materials or finished goods, what we build here strengthens industries, supports families, and grows communities from coast to coast. We know that a threat to one is a threat to all, and when we suffer, Canada suffers. While tariffs are the immediate threat, this fight is about the future of Canada. It's not just about protecting the jobs we have today, it's about seizing the opportunity to build a more sustainable, self-reliant economy that supports workers in every province and sector. Joining a Canadian union is how we fight back. With our jobs and industries on the line, there has never been a more critical time to unite and harness the collective power of unions. Joining Unifor means joining the fight for a fair future for all Canadian workers. During this fight and before this trade war, Unifor has been the voice of workers in Canada, whether on the picket lines, at the bargaining table, or in the media. We have always fought for workers and for what they deserve: fair wages, safe working conditions, and secure jobs. From the first contract to winning anti-scab legislation, Unifor has led the charge in defending workers' rights and strengthening Canada's industries. Let us use our voice today to send a reminder that our jobs are not a bargaining chip. To anyone that is trying to move our jobs to the United States, I have a message for you: not on our watch. We're going to keep fighting for every job, for every worker, and for every community. Solidarity, Unifor family!
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Samya. I've lost my voice already, but that's okay. I'll tough it through. We have another chance. The workers united will never be defeated. The workers united will never be defeated. The workers united will never be defeated. As you know, this trade war has affected and will affect every industry in our economy. The constant on and offs of trade and pausing of the trade by U.S. President Trump is causing real damage to consumer confidence in our economy. And even without the trade tariffs put in place, we can see layoffs already, and that's going to continue until this is resolved. In fact, it's going to get worse. So even before the threat of tariffs were imposed by the United States, Canada's forestry sector has been facing existential threats. Here to share her perspective from the sector to tell us why we must stand united to protect jobs in every industry is Katrina Peterson, the president of Unifor Local 324, who has traveled all the way from Dryden, Ontario to be here with us today. Katrina?
Thank you. Hello, brothers and sisters. Thank you for the invite to come and speak here in this beautiful automotive capital of Canada. I have to say, I brought shorts because it was still like -4 in Dryden, so I'm a little disappointed. But nevertheless, I'm excited to be here and talk to you about something a little bit different than what you're used to in this area. Where I come from, when I look out my window, I see trees. I see a mill with smoke coming out of it. I know we're making money, and I know our workers are making a good wage. And I just want to give you some information about this sector and the importance of it for you in the bigger urban centers. The forestry sector is integral to Canada and to our everyday lives. Forestry builds our homes. It supplies paper, napkins, tissues, the hot commodity of toilet paper found in every home. Forestry supplies biomass for energy, supports responsible forest management to combat wildfires, and so much more. The sector has faced massive challenges from climate change to insect infestations, supply issues, and softwood lumber tariffs from the US. Now, additional tariffs and duties from President Donald Trump are aimed at tearing apart Canada's forestry jobs. Shame! From Port Hawkesbury, Nova Scotia to Port Alberni, British Columbia, there are over 200,000 forestry workers across this country whose good union jobs support hundreds of thousands of other jobs and keep our communities thriving. We are in the middle of a housing crisis at the moment, and the forestry sector is very crucial in our ability to build ourselves out of it. Canada is very blessed with an abundance of this renewable resource, and we are global leaders in responsible forest management. Unifor is calling all levels of government to develop an industrial strategy for forestry. We must work together to fight through this tariff storm, to view this crisis as an opportunity to invest and transform our sector, building a more sustainable, inclusive, and innovative forestry industry for future generations. We want to remind President Trump that the US does need our Canadian lumber. Yes. But more importantly, we need to remind Canadians that Canadians need Canadian lumber. We need Canadian wood products, and we need to see leadership from all governments and from the industry to work with us to support a sustainable future for Canada's forestry workers. Solidarity, friends.
Thank you, Katrina. As you've heard already from many of us, the increased tariffs that are happening from the U.S. president, and when they continue if they continue as he plans on May 3rd around auto parts, there's no doubt that our infrastructure is going to suffer, our ability, the tax base that, like I said, it's our taxes that pay for the things that are important to us, like hospitals. The continued underfunding of public services like healthcare erodes not just jobs, but the very services that working families rely on to keep our communities thriving. Our next speakers are on the front lines, standing up for healthcare services. Will all depend on ensuring that those who care for us have a good job with good job security. Please join me in welcoming two heroes of the healthcare community, Alicia Rivera from Local 1106 in Kitchener, and Jennifer Kennedy from Local 2458 right here in Windsor, Ontario.
You good? Brothers, sisters, and siblings, Healthcare workers are being pushed to the edge, skipping breaks, working sick, and going home defeated. I have never seen it this bad. And still, employers and governments ask for more. This provincial government has turned its back on us. Shame. Yes, Doug Ford says he's standing up to tariffs, but at the same time, he's been cutting healthcare to the bone. Selling off clinics, leaving seniors and residents waiting, driving our frontline workers out of the sector. And we know what happens when workers stay quiet. We lose jobs, we lose services, we lose lives. Some people say the fight of public sector and private sector workers aren't the same fight, but they're wrong. Because when trade wars crash our economy, healthcare funding suffers. When auto plants close, so do hospital units. And when billionaires get bailouts, workers get pink slips on the line and on the floor. When they come for one of us, they come for all of us. And we're sending a message today. We will not be silent. We are not disposable. We are not invisible. We are done waiting, and we are not backing down.
22 years I've worked on the front line of care, and I see what happens when systems collapse. When the economy takes a hit, it's always public services that bleed first. And who's left holding it all together? We are. The workers, the caregivers, the ones doing the hardest job for the lowest pay. I'm from Windsor, and in Windsor, we've lived it. Bad trade deals, plant closures, governments that bail out billionaires while leaving workers behind. Now we're in the middle of a trade war. And let me tell you something. When the economy crashes, healthcare suffers. It always does. Hospitals cut staff, seniors wait longer, families fall through the cracks, and frontline workers were told to do more with less again. We are not going to take that quietly, because this fight, it's not just about auto, it's not just about manufacturing, it's about all of us. It's about the healthcare worker who hasn't had a day off in months, the factory worker whose job was just shipped across the border, the public sector worker bracing for the next round of cuts. This rally is our response to bad trade deals, to government cuts, to a system that always asks workers to carry the burden while billionaires keep cashing in. You cannot build a strong economy on the backs of exhausted, unpaid workers. And you cannot fix a country by cutting care. We are here to fight for our jobs, for our services, for our future. And we are not backing down. Solidarity.
Protect Canadian jobs! Protect Canadian jobs! Protect Canadian jobs! Protect Canadian jobs! All right. I want to give a special mention to Unifor members in the energy sector, many of which are so crucial to Canada's economy that they were all working today and could not join us to share some words on the stage, but we give them a shout out. Next, we're honored to welcome Bea Brusk, President of the Canadian Labour Congress. Bea is a champion for workers' rights, and her leadership has been crucial in advancing the fight for fair wages, secure jobs, and better working conditions across Canada. Bea is here to share solidarity from many unions across this country, and we're so thrilled to share the stage in solidarity today. Welcome, Bea.
My Unifor friends, I bring you solidarity from the 3 million workers connected to the Canadian Labour Congress. From mines to hospitals, from classrooms to shipyards, the entire Canadian labour movement stands with Unifor today. We know, my friends, that this is not just a fight for one union. This is a full-on assault on all workers in Canada. It's a trade war launched by Donald Trump, and every single one of us is in his crosshairs. Trump's tariffs aren't about fentanyl. They're about breaking Canadian workers. They're about breaking Canada. They're about dividing working people, about bleeding public services dry, about stretching our already stretched hospitals, our schools, past the breaking point, turning worker against worker and turning Canada into America. But I got news for him. Canadians don't break, and Canadian unions sure as heck don't break. Let's talk about what's really at stake here. These tariffs threaten auto workers right here in Windsor. They also threaten forestry workers in BC and in our north. They threaten steel and aluminum workers right across this country, aerospace workers, food production workers, energy workers, workers working in our ports and on our rail lines, and creative workers. This trade war hits absolutely everything, and that means the impact will be felt everywhere. It's our jobs, it's our cities and towns, it's our health care, it's our public services, our social fabric that keeps Canada strong. Donald Trump is trying to tear us apart. But what he doesn't understand is that when times get tough, we pull together. We organize, we fight, and we win. And you know, my friends, in this fight, we've got some amazing leaders, leaders that are second to none, leaders like your very own Lana Payne. Lana has been tough as nails, smart, strategic, and relentless. She is fearless in standing up to the bosses, trying to sneak jobs and equipment out of this country. And let me tell you something, she's delivering results. But we know that she can't do it alone. She needs to know that every single one of us here, in every plant, in every community, in every province, is ready to answer her call. Are we ready to answer her call? So when Lana says not one bolt, not one tool, and not one job leaves this country, we back her up, we show up, and we fight back. And I want you to hear this loud and clear. When Lana's call to action comes to picket, to organize, to blockade, to mobilize, we are all going to be there standing right beside you, from coast to coast to coast, in every union and every single sector, my friends. The entire labor movement has your back. Union members, you are not alone. You are backed by the full force of Canada's labour movement. So here's what I'm asking of you. Stay loud, stay united, stay ready, because the only thing more powerful than Donald Trump is a working class that fights like hell together. Let's show them what solidarity looks like. Let's show them that we are all on Team Canada, and let's show them that our movement does not bend, my friends. Solidarity means that we stick together, because together we rise, together we resist, and together we win. Solidarity, my friends, let's kick some ass for the working class.
Thank you, Bea. And on behalf of Unifor, I just want to say thank you to the House of Labour and the unions that sent us messages of solidarity in this fight. Thank you very much. So we're getting near the end, and we thank you all for being here. But I'd be remiss if this would be a sad occasion if we didn't have our national president here to end this rally. It's not by accident that Unifor has become one of the most influential unions in Canada. That's a direct result of the unwavering dedication and tireless leadership of our national president, Lana Payne, who never stops fighting on our behalf. During and far beyond this trade war, Lana has been a go-to labour leader in defending Canadian workers and industries. When she isn't in the media defending our jobs, she's in meetings with decision makers from coast to coast to coast, uniting them to defend our country's interests. Lana has shown time and again, that when you refuse to back down and we join together like we are today, we can create the change we know is not only needed, but it's possible. Her fierce advocacy and willingness to talk about the hard realities workers are facing and set a standard for what it means to lead a movement. It's my privilege to introduce to you our national president, a leader who needs no introduction, Lana Payne.
What a crew. Oh my gosh. Hello, Unifor. Hello, Windsor. Hello, Canada. What a day. What a day to stand together. What a day to fight for workers from coast to coast to coast. And yes, what a day to be a Canadian. Every single one of us. Do you know, friends, how we are going to win this trade war? How we are going to protect Canadian workers and Canadian jobs? I'll tell you how we are going to do it. We're going to do it together. Together. In the streets, in the corridors of political power, in the corridors of corporate power, in our workplaces, on a picket line, wherever we have to be together. That is how we're going to win. Auto and auto parts workers, forestry workers, energy workers, healthcare workers, all of us, telco workers, all of us together. That's what it's going to take. And not one thing less than that. Because I have to tell you, friends, the only way we come out of this is the trade union way. That is the only way we come out of it. We did not just spend all this time winning historic collective agreements, winning anti-scab legislation, winning worker power all across this country in order to have Donald Trump destroy it. No, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. You can tell I'm a little riled up as all those early morning media interviews, Julie. So yes, we have jobs to protect, we have a union to defend, and we have a country to stand up for. But if there's one thing I know, it's what this union is capable of. Because we know how to fight, and we know how to fight smart. We know how to organize, and yes, damn it, we know how to win. Elbows out and up! I want to tell you a little bit about our DNA, because it's important to remember where we came from. It was right here in the city of Windsor in 1945 when the workers at Ford Motor Company won union rights for every single worker across this country. That is our union. It was in 1996 when our union occupied the GM plant in Oshawa. That is our union. In the financial crisis of 2008 and 2009, Ken Luenza led our members during the toughest times we've faced. That is our union. And here we are, again, confronting some of the most powerful forces on the planet. I've said it many times, and I'm going to keep saying it. This is the fight of our lives. This is the fight of our lives. And there is no one I would rather face it with than all of you, some of my closest friends. And I'm going to need all of you. I'm going to need all of you. Unifor locals all across this city, Unifor locals all across this province, Unifor locals all across this country, Canadians all across this country, together. That is what it's going to take to win. Because Donald Trump has been clear about one thing. He's coming for, oh, that too, sister. I won't repeat it. He is coming for our jobs. So we have to be clear right back, so even Donald Trump understands it. These are not your jobs to take. These are Canadian jobs. They are Unifor jobs, and we are going to do whatever we have to do to defend them and protect them. Our plants, our jobs, our communities, our country, we're fighting for all of it right now, all of it. And you know what? If the U.S. doesn't want our lumber, so be it. So be it. Yes, we will, brother, from one part of this country to the other. Yes. And if they don't want our energy, we got to plan for that too. We got to plan for that too. And when it comes for our more than century-old auto industry, let me be very clear. To Donald Trump and to the automakers over there, because we got a message for them too. And to the... I don't even have to try up here. I got a whole team. And I got a message to the people seeking to run this country. Here is a known fact. Canadians actually buy cars and trucks. 2 million of them a year. That is why we have an auto industry in this country. And if you expect to sell here, you goddamn well better be building here. Because if you think for 1 second, that you can shift auto jobs, it's gone. If you think for 1 second that you can shift auto jobs, if you think you can shift auto production, if you think that you can do that to appease Donald Trump, I think you need to understand. This union has a message for you. Fuck you! There you go, folks. There you go. Because we have been building in this country for a very long time, and we're going to continue to build vehicles in this country and in this city for a very long time. Now, since December, I've been saying a few things to these auto companies. I have a Unifor army with me. Nothing moves without us. Nothing gets built without us. Nothing. And if you want to come up against this union, you just try us. You just try us right now. Elbows up! Because nothing can break our determination. Nothing can break our determination. Not Donald Trump, and certainly not the bosses. Nothing can break our solidarity, because we build that. We build that. I want to say a very, very big thank you to B for being here with us today, and the broader labor movement for being here with us today. It is going to take all of us, because that's the size of the problem in front of us. I want to thank the many messages of support that our union has received in the last weeks. And a huge, huge round of applause for this kick-ass Unifor crew behind me. Today we are sending a powerful message to our fellow Canadians, to those that, see, I was wanting to start my remarks with that, but the comms people told me not to. To those seeking election and those running to lead this country, this is indeed the fight of our lives. And friends, true leadership is defined by those who rise to the occasion of the moment. And we need leaders who understand the size and the scope of the big challenge in front of us. Leaders who respect workers and their unions. Who sit down with us at the table, who understand what we bring to that table, and yes, who will fight with us to defend Canadian jobs and the Canadian economy and Canadian workers. In my years, I'm not going to tell you how many of them because that's not good for me. In all of my years in this movement, I have learned a lot. I've learned a lot from workers. I've learned that when we fight together, we can win together. All of us together. So let's make a promise to each other today. Let's make a promise to each other as trade unionists, as Canadians, and as workers. Let's stand together. Let's fight together. Let's lift each other up. Because we have jobs to protect, we have a country to defend, and we have a great union to see us through it all. So let's go. Solidarity, sisters and brothers, solidarity. So, solidarity. So, solidarity. So, solidarity. So, solidarity. So, solidarity. I can't hear you. So, solidarity. So, solidarity. So, solidarity. Woo!
We want to thank everyone for coming today, for showing up from every sector, from retail, energy, aerospace, forestry, auto, manufacturing, healthcare, transit, rail, telecommunications, and many more, and media. Solidarity with every worker everywhere. I can't play it for you today, but if you look online for Unifor Quebec's account, you will hear delegates at this week's Quebec Council who united to send us a huge message of solidarity while wearing their Protect Canadian Jobs t-shirt today. So for those tuning in from across the country, whether you're in Quebec or in the Atlantic or in the Western region or elsewhere in the country, solidarity to all of you.
There's a brother in the front row here, and he sends us a reminder every time I walk up to the mic. I see it. We belong on assembly lines, not on unemployment lines. And I'm here to tell you, brother, and I'm here to tell everybody, the fight does not stop here. This is not just a fight for our jobs. It's a fight for Canada. It's a fight for future. And we will not back down. That's our commitment to you. We will fight to protect our jobs.
As Lana says, our jobs, our plants, our mills, our communities, our country, we are fighting for all of it. To stay up to date with Unifor's activities, you can check unifor.ca and protectjobs.ca. Thank you for joining us. Protect Canadian jobs. 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 Woo-hoo-hoo!
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. If you're a Canadian, you're proud. Say, hell yeah! I said, hell yeah!
Let me introduce Rick Labonte and the Band of Brothers. Rick is from our local here at 444, and he's here to play some music for us. Way to go.
We're going to play Canadian rock. I think it's from Vancouver. One thing people got to understand, Canadians are polite, but if you push us too far, we will fight back. Fighting back make a difference. We're going to raise a little hell.